So this is the theorem from quadratic expressions. Here the expression ax square plus bx plus c is denoted by f of x, and a means quotient of x square. These two have the same sign, means the expression f of x and a have the same sign, means if a is positive then expression is always positive. If a is negative then expression f of x is also negative. It is possible only when the roots of f of x equal to 0 are imaginary. In such a case, so f of x is the polynomial expression. So here this is equal to 0 means polynomial equation. It has two roots. Quadratic equation means it has two roots. Here the roots are imaginary. So the quadratic equation has imaginary roots only when delta discriminant is less than 0. Okay, here observe this carefully. Given that f of x, that is ax square, so need not write f of x here again. It is given that ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has imaginary roots, means non-real roots. It has imaginary roots. So its delta discriminant should be less than 0. Discriminant means either delta or b, that is less than 0. But discriminant means what? That is b square minus 4ac is less than 0. So if you multiply with the negative sign, you will get 4ac minus b square is greater than 0. Remember, minus, if you are multiplying with the negative sign, then relation greater than will be less than will be greater than. So if you multiply with the negative sign, this will be minus b square plus 4ac, means 4ac minus b square less than will be greater than 0. Okay then. For example, minus 3 means it is less than 0. If you multiply with negative sign, you are getting 3 which is greater than 0. That is why change the inequality symbol. Okay then, we got the result that 4ac minus b square is greater than 0. And now, consider the given f of x, that is ax square plus bx plus c. Consider the given one, that is ax square plus bx plus c, which is f of x, the given expression. So now I am writing the simplification like this. By taking common this a, you are getting x square plus b by ax plus c by a. By taking common this a, you are getting x square plus b by ax plus c by a. And now observe this one. So this ax square plus bx plus c is equal to, means the given expression f of x is equal to a into, observe this one, this is x square is there. I want to write a square plus 2ab plus b square form. So here I am writing like this, multiplying and dividing with 2 gives 2 into x into b by a is there, I am writing 2a. Because now if you observe 2 gets cancelled, you will get the given bx by a only. So multiplying and dividing with 2. Now you are getting a square plus 2ab form. Plus b square is not there. B means b by 2a whole square is not there. So by adding and subtracting, that means just add b by 2a whole square and immediately subtract the same. Plus c by a is there. Okay. So here, observe this one. This is the key part of the solution here. X square plus b by ax plus c by a is the given one. Here the second term b by ax is there. I am multiplying and dividing with 2 here to get a square plus 2ab form. So where b is b by 2a, so plus b square I want to get here. So adding and subtracting b by 2a whole square, you will get the simplified form. And now instead of writing this expression, simply you can replace this by f of x is equal to a into, just observe this one, if you consider this part, you will get a plus b whole square, that is x plus b by 2a whole square. X plus b by 2a whole square you are getting, because a square plus 2ab plus b square form is there, a plus b whole square. And now this is minus b square by 2a whole square is 4a square plus c by a. So in the RHS part, a into some other term. means a is multiplying the other term. So write a in the LHS part, then you will get f of x by a, which is equal to, this is x plus b by 2a whole square plus c by a minus b square by 4a square, means just observe this one. This is x plus b by 2a whole square plus a and 4a square are the denominators. So 4a square will be the LCM. 4a into c, 4ac minus b square, because the same denominator is there. So the value of f of x by a is equal to this one. This is equation 1. And now just observe the given one. So the given f of x by a can be written as x plus b by a 2a whole square plus 4ac minus b square by 4a square. We got the result. And now observe one thing. X plus b by 2a, we don't know this value, but whole square is given, means that is always non-negative. So this x plus b by 2a whole square is either greater than or equal to 0. Either 0 or positive. Then we will not get any negative value because of the whole square. And now this is numerator is 4ac minus b square, which is always positive, greater than 0. That is positive. So 4ac minus b square is also positive. Okay, then what about the denominator? 4a square, which is also positive. That means what can you say here? The value of f of x by a is equal to the sum of these two terms, where the first one is positive, means non-negative, and the second one is also greater than 0. Because 4ac minus b square is greater than 0, 4a square, it represents a quadratic expression, means a is also greater than 0. Anyhow, a square is greater than 0. So positive number by positive number will be the, another positive number will be the result here. So what are you getting here? The value of f of x by a is equal to this one, which is always positive, greater than 0. And now, a fraction is positive is possible only when both the numerator and denominator are either positive or negative, means both have the same sign. Because, for example, a by b, when a and b both are positive, simply you can write a and b. If a and b both are negative, then actually that will be minus a by minus b in the form of a negative number by another negative number we will get. Then minus minus gets cancelled, you will get the same result a by b like this. That is why, okay, so f of x by a fraction is positive, means numerator f of x and denominator a have the same sign. So these two have the same sign when the expression has imaginary zeros. That means the polynomial equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 has imaginary roots, means delta is less than 0. That gives 4ac minus b square is greater than 0. And now here this expression can be written in the form of like this. After getting the simplified form here, you can say that f of x by a is greater than 0. A fraction is positive, means numerator and denominator have the same sign. Okay, so that is the required proof of the theorem. So it is sometimes we will get a few problems like this. They'll give one expression and we have to prove that it is always positive, otherwise it is always negative. That means an expression is either positive or negative for all the real values of x. It is possible only when it has imaginary roots. That means just find the discriminant. If you get any negative value, means roots are imaginary, it is clear. And then if x square quotient means a is positive, means then expression is always positive. If a is negative, means suppose if it is either minus 2x square or minus x square like this, quotient of x square is negative, a is negative, then that expression is always negative. So that means we will not get any change in the sign of the expression, that is either positive or negative. So the throughout for all the real values of x when it has imaginary roots. Okay. Yes. So here another theorem is alpha comma beta are the roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the quadratic equation has two roots. Those are given by alpha beta, where alpha is less than beta, means usually just two roots are there. Usually the least of the two roots is denoted by alpha, then the other one will be beta. And now here two cases are there. First one, when x lies in between the roots alpha and beta, x lies in between the roots alpha and beta, then the expression and a have opposite signs. Expression and a have opposite signs. If this x is either less than alpha or it is greater than beta, means when x doesn't lies in between the roots, that is either less than alpha or greater than beta, means doesn't lies in between alpha and beta. In such a case, the expression and a have the same sign. These are the two cases we have to prove. So here the first one is to prove the first case, means when x lies in between alpha and beta. And now this is the proof here. Alpha comma beta are the roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and it is also given that alpha is less than beta. So let us assume that f of x is the given expression, that is ax square plus bx plus c. That the given quadratic expression is ax square plus bx plus c, that is f of x. And now you can write like this, by taking common this a, you are getting x square plus b by ax plus c by a, that is a into, so instead of plus b by ax I am writing minus of minus b by ax, because minus of minus will be plus, so that means minus of minus b by a will be the given b by a only. So what is the use? Why I am writing like this means, here alpha and beta are the roots, means sum of the roots alpha plus beta is minus b by a, and product of the roots alpha beta is c by a. That means you can replace these two minus b by a and c by a by sum of the roots alpha plus beta and product of the roots alpha into beta, that is f of x. So you can write this f of x by a, means if you divide the whole equation, means divide on either sides by a, you get it. These two, a and a gets cancelled here, you are left with this one. This one means you can write this as the product of two linear factors like this, x minus alpha into x minus beta. So just observe this one. This is x square minus alpha x minus beta x plus alpha beta. So you can write this as the product of x minus alpha and x minus beta, which is equal to f of x by a. Okay, then suppose this is equation number 1, and now consider the first case. If in the first case alpha is less than x is less than beta, then that means alpha is less than x and this x is less than beta. That means consider the two cases. Alpha is less than x and x is less than beta. Consider the two cases. So from this alpha minus x is less than 0. If you multiply with negative sign, you will get x minus alpha is greater than 0. Whenever there is an inequality symbol means either less than or greater than, then you are multiplying with negative sign means change the relation. Since alpha minus x is less than 0, if you multiply with negative sign, you will get x minus alpha is greater than 0. And now here, x minus beta is less than 0, beta will be minus beta here. So x minus alpha is greater than 0 means x minus alpha is positive. And what about the other one? X minus beta is less than 0 means it is negative. So here, from the first equation, the value of f of x by a is equal to the product of two terms, x minus alpha and x minus beta. Here the first term x minus alpha is positive and the second term x minus beta is negative. So you are multiplying one positive term and one negative term. You are multiplying one positive and one negative term. So the result will be negative. Therefore, from 1, f of x by a is, this is the product of a positive and negative term. So that is negative means less than 0. F of x by a is less than 0. And now, if fraction is negative, fraction is positive means both numerator and denominator have the same sign. That is what the last one, previous one. Here f of x by a is less than 0. Less than 0 means fraction is negative means numerator and denominator are with opposite signs. That means f of x and a. If f of x is positive, then a should be negative. Then only the result, the fraction will be negative. Similarly, if f of x is negative, then a should be positive to get the negative result. That is why f of x and a have opposite signs. So that is the required one. That means, again observe this one. Consider the given polynomial expression, quadratic expression, that is ax square plus bx plus c. Suppose this is f of x. Then by taking common, you will get, by taking a, you will get x square plus b by ax plus c by a. Since alpha and beta are the roots which are given, you can write sum of the roots and product of the roots instead of minus b by a and c by a. Then you are getting the value of f of x by a, which is equal to the product of two terms where x minus alpha is the first one and x minus beta is the second one. Suppose this is equation number 1. And now for the case 1, when x lies in between the roots alpha and beta, now consider the first half alpha is less than x, and then the second half x is less than beta. X is less than beta means x minus beta is less than 0 means it is negative. Alpha is less than x gives alpha minus x is negative means the required x minus alpha is positive. So from equation 1, f of x by a is the product of two terms where the first one is positive and the second one is negative. So the product is negative. So the fractional value is negative means it is with the opposite signs. The numerator and denominator are with opposite signs. And now the second case we have to prove here. In the second case, when x is either less than alpha or it is greater than beta. That means, consider the second case. If x is less than alpha, this part only, okay. If x is less than alpha, consider this part. Then you can say that x is less than alpha and x is less than beta also, because in the given theorem statement, the relation between alpha and beta is given. Alpha, beta are two roots where alpha is less than beta. So, if you observe the given one, alpha and beta, two roots are there, the least root is alpha. Now this x is less than alpha. So that is less than beta also. So what can you say here? X is less than alpha means x minus alpha is less than 0, and x is less than beta means x minus beta is also less than 0. So here in this particular case, x minus alpha less than 0 means negative, x minus beta less than 0 means negative. So this is negative, this is also negative, minus into minus will be plus, that means product of two negative numbers is positive. That means from the first equation, f of x by a is equal to one negative term into another negative term, because x minus alpha is negative, x minus beta is also negative here. The product of two negative terms is positive, so this fraction is greater than 0, positive means. Again the fraction f of x by a is positive means f of x comma a have the same sign. These two have the same sign. This is the first part. And now in the second case again, if x is less than alpha, we proved this one. Now consider x is greater than beta. If x is greater than beta, then x is greater than beta and x is greater than alpha also, because alpha and beta are two roots such that alpha is less than beta. Now beta is the greatest of the two roots. Now this x is greater than beta, that means it is greater than alpha also. So x minus beta and x minus alpha, x minus beta is greater than 0 and x minus alpha is also greater than 0. So here again from the first case, in the previous case means here negative into negative will be positive, but here both are positives. So x minus alpha is positive, x minus beta is also positive. Product of two positive numbers is again positive. So f of x by a is positive. So they have the same sign. So that is the required proof here. Again, in the second case, when x is less than alpha, means here we have a relation alpha is less than beta. We have to use that one. So x is less than alpha means that x is less than beta also. So x minus alpha is negative, x minus beta is also negative, less than 0 means. So here you are getting negative number into negative number, minus into minus will be plus, so the fraction is positive, so they have the same sign. And in the second case, when x is greater than beta, x minus beta and x minus alpha both are greater than 0 means positive. So now you are getting product of two positive numbers which is also positive. That is why again f of x by a is positive means they have the same sign. So that means, so this is very important theorem. By using this one, you can say when the expression is positive and when it is negative. So if you observe one expression f of x, that is ax square plus bx plus c, it has two zeros alpha and beta. Means if you substitute either x is equal to alpha or x is equal to beta, then only you are getting the result 0. For all the remaining values of x, you are getting non-zero values, means that is either positive or negative. So then the required, by using this you can say when you are getting positive result and when you are getting negative result. For what value of x you will get positive result, positive value of the expression, and when you will get negative. So the important thing is just to find the roots alpha and beta. If you choose any x between alpha and beta, then observe the sign of a. If quotient of x square, that is a is positive, then expression is negative. If a is negative, that expression is positive, since they have opposite signs. And when x is either less than alpha or greater than beta, that means observe this one. Here this is alpha, this is beta. In the first case, when x lies in between alpha beta, in between alpha beta. Now in the second case, this x is either less than alpha means like this, or it is greater than beta like this. Here doesn't lies in between the roots alpha and beta. Then if a is positive, expression is positive. If a is negative, expression is negative, because they have the same sign. So that is called changes in the sign of the expression. Very important concept. Okay. So here, if alpha beta are the roots of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where alpha is less than beta, then by the definition of this theorem, when x lies in between the roots alpha and beta, then expression and a have opposite signs. When this x is either less than alpha or it is greater than beta, means when it doesn't lies in between the roots, then expression and a have the same sign. So that is the given one. Now just observe the problems here. Find the changes in the sign of the given quadratic expression. Find the changes in the sign of the given quadratic expression. So a quadratic expression is given here. We have to find when it is positive and when it is negative. So we'll see. Here the first one is given quadratic expression is x square minus 5x plus 6. First try to write this as the product of two linear factors. So since quotient of x square is 1 and constant is 6, product of these two will be 1 into 6, that is 6. Now write this 6 as the product of two numbers so that the sum or the difference is equal to the quotient of x. So 3 2s are 6, 3 plus 2 gives 5. To get this minus 5, so we have to write like this: x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. So minus 2x minus 3x, the sum will be minus 5x, and the product minus into minus plus 2 into 3 6, x into x square plus 6x square. Like this you have to choose the factors. Now this is x into x minus 2 minus 3 into x minus 2. You can verify here the same linear factor you will get in the brackets, common factor. So now by taking common this x minus 2, you will get x minus 3. So you can write the given quadratic expression as the product of these two linear factors x minus 2 and x minus 3. To get the roots, equate the given expression to 0, means equation you have to write. So x minus 2 into x minus 3 equal to 0 gives x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3, means here the roots are x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. So here the roots are denoted by alpha and beta, and alpha is less than beta. Smallest of the two roots is alpha. So here alpha is equal to 2 and beta is equal to 3. So by the first case, here the first case is when x lies in between the roots alpha and beta. Means if 2 is less than, x is less than 3, then given expression when x lies in between alpha and beta, then expression and a have opposite signs. What is a here? A means quotient of x square, that is 1. This is plus 1, positive. Since quotient of x square, that is a, is positive, expression and a have opposite signs. Means since a is positive, that expression is negative. It has its opposite sign. And in the second case, if x is less than alpha, that is 2, or x is greater than beta, that is 3, then given expression is when x doesn't lie in between the roots, then the expression and a have the same sign. Here a is positive. Same sign means this is also positive. So like this, you can discuss the nature of the roots here. And another shortcut is there to write this. After getting the roots, write the roots in increasing or ascending order. So 2 and 3, right side part is always positive. Whenever you are crossing this root, you will get the change in the sign. Positive will be negative. Again, by crossing this, negative will be positive. Because at x equal to 2 and at x equal to 3, you are getting zeros. Because 2 and 3 are the roots of the given quadratic equation. That is why when x is less than 2, expression is positive. That is what we got here. When x is greater than 3, then also it is positive. When x lies in between 2 and 3, then the expression is negative. So simply by drawing the line like this, means on a line you have to write alpha and beta, where alpha is less than beta, that is important. Then rightmost part is positive. By crossing this one, means you are crossing 0. At x equal to 3, the expression will be 0. So that is why positive will be negative. Again by crossing, you will get negative will be positive. Like this you can write. And here the second one is, this is another one. Minus 3x square plus 4x plus 15 is given. Just for our convenience, just by taking common this negative sign, because usually the leading quotient of x square is positive, then it is easy to write the factors. So then 3x square minus 4x minus 15 you will get. Now 3 into 15, 45. 9 5s are 45, 9 minus 5 gives minus 4, the required 4. So factors will be 3x square minus 9x plus 5x minus 15. Check this one, minus 9 plus 5 minus 4, minus into plus minus 9 into 5, the required 45x square. So that is minus. Here 3x is the common term into x minus 3 plus 5 into x minus 3 are getting. So that is minus x minus 3 into 3x plus 5. So you can write, instead of x minus 3, you can write 3 minus x into 3x plus 5. So the roots are 3 minus x equal to 0 gives x equal to 3. 3x plus 5 is equal to 0 gives x is equal to minus 5 by 3. So here the least one is minus 5 by 3, that is alpha. So just write the number line, first least one, that is minus 5 by 3. Then the other one is 3. Write positive, negative, positive. So when x is less than minus 5 by 3, it is positive. When x is greater than 3, then also it is positive. If x lies in between these two, that expression is negative. Like this, you can discuss the changes in the sign by using this statement of the theorem. Okay. This is about the changes in the sign of a quadratic expression.